Hello, hello, hello. Mic check, mic check. Good evening. 7 p.m. on Thursday evening, October 9th. Live action esports. A long night of esports. The varsity team's starting right now, forming group, playing against Pioneer Esports, ECU. Pioneer Esports, I'm not sure. We have Pioneer Esports. Looks like a good match tonight. And then after that, we might have some junior varsity action versus Texas Tech University. So it should be a night filled with some good League of Legends. I'm going to leave this music here. I'm going to put myself back on mute and wait for the draft to start, and I'll come back to you guys. Thank you. Hello. Coming back. Looks like we're about to ready to start this draft. Both teams are locked in the lobby. Swap over here. The first band coming out of the side of ECU is Victor. Pioneer Esports, MIU, the University of, bans Lulu. Andy definitely had a good showing on Lulu with Scorp Commander on Ash a couple weekends ago. I wouldn't want to play that against that myself. What will be the second ban of ECU? Boom, boom. Let's like turn this music down a little bit. Mic check, mic check. Renekton. Renekton, a good solid ban. Not a lot of counters to that champion. He's not so feast. In Famine, he's like feast or go even. So, turn that down. Go back to the draft. Somehow. There it is. Dr. Mundo being banned out of the side of MIU. Another nuisance champion. Now, I know the side of ECU's roster is a little bit different today. We don't have Eternal Frost Brecken in that mid lane. Instead, it's Nathan Lewis in that mid lane today. I'm not sure what his mid champion pool is. And then we have Coda in the top lane. And then we have Jesse in the jungle on 10 full Hatman. Scorp Commander Miguel in the ACD. Looks like we banned Ash. That's a great champion with vision and pick set up with a team fight ultimate. Nasty champion. Jarvan banned out of the side of MIU. A great meta pick. Great engaged team fight ultimate. Smart ban with map control. Oh, Set gets through to Coda. Coda's a 1.2 million mastery Set player. Should be some exciting plays out of him. We'll wait and see. This first pick of MIU, I don't know if they'll look to counterban Set or pick something else. Let's see. Locking in Ornn. Looks like should be an interesting matchup on if Set gets to farm to 3 items and then just absolutely destroy everything. And will Ornn's mythic item maker be a pivotal role or pivotal part of this MIU team for Pioneer Esports? Mic check, mic check. Hello, hello, hello. It's not too loud. It's good. I hope. Hope there's no echo or reverberation. I'm sure someone will tell me here in a minute. Xayah locked in for the ADC of MIU. Really slow to get going early game. Looks to do nothing but farm till mid game. Ultimate of Xayah prevents immunity, so anti-dive, anti-engage. That Set looks to engage onto Xayah. If they have their ultimate, they will be able to get away. But if Set can find this Xayah ultimateless in these team fights in this game, it will probably spell trouble for the side of MIU. Jesse locking in that Ivern, that great jungle, looking to farm in that early game and be a support and just cause all kinds of mayhem with Daisy and the shielding. It's a solid pick right now. I love to see that on the side of ECU. I try not to be too biased while commentating on these games, but being a student of ECU, it's hard not to. As Nathan Lewis, they will lock in this Orianna in the mid lane for the side of ECU. Very strong character right now in the game. Great team fight, great choke potential. Baron control, dragon control, roam potential. Locking in Syndra on the side of MIU. That's actually a solid counter pick into Orianna. I know in solo queue, Syndra kind of gets the best of Orianna in a lot of situations by about a 5% margin. However, this is competitive team play, so the end of we'll just play it out and see what happens. Lots of potential here. Still needing a jungler and a support on the side of MIU, and needing an ADC carry and the support on the side of ECU. ECU gets to counterpick the ADC here, but I'm not sure how the support. They banned Rakan. That's a great ban. Banning Aphelios out of the side of MIU. Scorp Commander is pretty deadly on this Aphelios. And they banned the Jinx. That's smart. They just buffed Jinx in the patch notes. That's a great ban for the side of MIU. They've done their homework. They're banning Scorp Commander out. And see what we can pick here. Caitlyn's still an option. Still lots of ADCs on the board. This bot lane for ECU looking to do some damage and carry this game. This front line of ECU usually pretty strong. They banned Kane. That's a smart pick. If Kane gets to 40 minutes and full farmed, thank you. My mic is fine. Thank you for that info. I appreciate it. Banning Kane is smart. Kane, a very deadly champion, has that double passive. If he hits melee champions, he can go red. If he hits ranged champions, he can go blue Kane, hyper carry assassin. Volibear locked in on the side of MIU. A very strong tower dive champion looking to add to this front line of MIU. MIU will get to counterpick with their support. However, ECU's bot lane getting to see four of the enemy's team picks before they lock in. They will lock in Rel, which is a great engage. If Rel can connect with Syndra or Xayah, and Jhin locked in, Rel Jhin, a very dominant bot lane duo composition. Jhin, a very good ADC, very neutral pick. You have tanky engage on the side of Jhin. Jhin should be able to run around and get fourth shot criticals, land ultimates with all this CC and setup from the side of ECU. And MIU locks in Swain as their support. It's a very bold pick. When I see Swain, I think, oh no, I'll kite you. Don't run at me. Swain, that big ultimate, is nasty. Looking to get pressure in that bot lane early on so that Xayah can farm. However, the Rel might just get so tanky that the enemy team will not be able to do anything against ECU. But that's why we play the game. I'm excited. In the league so far, ECU has won. They are 2-0 out of their matches. Pioneers Esports, MIU is 0-2. Looking to get a win on the board. ECU looking to stay undefeated. Looks like the players are going to take a quick restroom break, and then we'll look to start. Looking at these team compositions, just to go in a little bit more on that, on detail. MIU has Engage on the side of Ornn. Volibear running in with the Sun, followed up by a Syndra stun. But as far as their chase and Engage potential goes, it'd just be like Swain ultimating, following the Volibear and Ornn around with Syndra and Xayah behind them. However, getting past a set, Ivern, with Orianna's bubble on them and a Rel, with Jin's traps and slows, and just the general CC, this could be an interesting match. Could be a brawl. I expect they look to farm to mid-game, and then mid-game, most likely all hell will break loose. That's usually how these games go for the side of ECU when they're close, and if they're not close, it's just, they usually just run down every objective and win pretty handedly. So we can turn this music off now. I'm ready now. Let's start it, boys. All right. Just a quick little run through of the mock draft again. Thursday night. Let's go. Live action esports. One in the chat if you're lurking. One in the chat if you're lurking. Two in the chat if you think ECU will win. Three if you think ECU loses. I need to set up the polls. That'd be cool. If we actually got enough viewers to like interact with chat and set up polls and stuff, that'd be crazy. As you can see that they're waiting for spectator delay. And then there's a 3-minute on the game. There's a 2-minute to you. So 5 minutes overall per the NECC rules. So we'll get started here shortly. Loading. Yeah. Nathan Lewis, no mastery on Oriana. That's going to be the real deal breaker. ECU without their normal mid laner here. Their top laner jumping down to Phil for mid lane. Code on that 1.4 points. That's ridiculous amount of set play. Looking for a hard carry out of your carry. Sport Commanders played a lot of Jin. Let me go ahead and back up. Control, Shift, Z. Back up to a reasonable level. Pinging. Pinging in the rivers. They're pinging. They want vision. Right now. They're grouped as 5. Looking for a cheeky invade in-gank. Jin in the wrong place at the wrong time. He will get out of there, hopefully. First blood to the side of MIU. Cheeky, still pushing for that invade, for that red buff. They will get a ward on the red buff. Rail, smart to not walk in there.
Minions have spawned.
Wanting to track this Ivern, which the Volibear will have more agency on the map early on, and then it will swap over. Hopefully. ECU will take over in this mid game. Oriana scales. Ivern scales, Set scales, Jin scaling when he gets about 4 items. Rel looking to get active, looking for some revenge. 1, 2, this big shot on Xayah has the barrier out, almost falls. Ignite ticking from the side of Rel. Xayah just lives. Jin 150 health, Xayah 50 health. Active early in this bot lane, looking for that dominance there. Looking for that push, that priority. Set boxing out Ornn back down to the bot lane. Set has priorities, has push. So whenever these towers... Ooh, Rail goes in. Xayah back under her tower. Jin healthy. I expect solid farm out of these mid laners at the 10-minute mark. We'll see what happens. Ornn W's away. Coda on this set with a quick clear. Gets the push, so in a minute and a half, the wave will be bounced back. Ornn will have the pressure, and it'll be his turn to play. Ivern will not be on that side of the map. Action in the mid lane. Ivern ganking the Syndra. Flash out of Syndra. Will not be enough to kill, but if they come back within the next 5 minutes and do that again, Syndra will not have flash. Ornn getting poked out really hard. That level 3 set. Coda putting on a masterclass of this champion, I'm sure, with the amount of time played. They're pinging on the bot lane from this red side team. They're pinging each other. They want help. Volley doesn't want to get invaded on because he doesn't have the most pressure in the mid or the bot lane. Going for this scuttle crab. They're pinging Volley. Orion in the mid lane will back up. Will not get ganked. Will not die. Knows it's coming. They have vision in this river. Syndra, no mana, gets stunned from Ivern, but will walk away. Swain roamed. Action in this top lane. Bot lane pressure, mid lane pressure, top lane pressure. Set has to know that Volibear will be on his way soon. Flash out of this set. Gets the knockup. Orn gets away. No flash on set. Will this matter? The Volibear, I'm sure that, yeah, they pinged it. Orn pinged it. Volibear knows it. Ivan with a Dark Skill Oracle Lens purchase. Orn with 100 health, just baiting for this Volibear. Trying to set up on Code to see if he's too aggressive. Volibear hovering top. Coda with the pressure in this bot lane. They're just farming up. There was a lot of pressure early. But I guess it comes to a point where, oh, securing the cannon, very important. It's a lot of gold. Volibear clearing the vision is set. Cinder lands the stun, lands the poke, wins that trade exchange. But nothing much more of that out of the mid laners. They will farm in this bot lane. The pressure from the mid lane. It's good to get that pressure with Dragon up. Iron flashes, looking for this kill. Dragon not the main objective right now. No one has ultimates. Ruins the tempo. Orn goes in on this set. Dies. It's a trade 1 for 1. Orn misses that whole experience. So it is a win. It is still a good trade. With Volibear farming its top side of the jungle, Dragon will not be a response, so that's just a free kill. 1 for 1 trade out of the top lane. Looking to do some damage in this bot lane, little skirmish. Jin lands the W, Zaya at 60% health. If they do that again, bot lane will not be able to be ready for this Dragon. Looks like bot lane's ECU push. They're going to come back with some vision, possibly look at this Dragon, get their items purchased. Looking at CS, both these teams evenly matched for the most part. Top lane slightly ahead. Volibear's ahead on the jungle. He might have got Void Grubs. I don't know why that number is such a large lead. Cinder going for the kill. Gets the solo bolo onto Orianna. Ultimate out of Orn. Flash gets the kill onto Seth. MIU more active with kills, but only slightly up in gold lead by about 1,000 gold. How can ECU bring this back together? Surely it's just farming to their initial item and then grouping for objectives. Void Grub spawn in a minute. Dragon is up. No one's pushed for it. Volibear over here in this jungle. Camping, waiting for somebody to walk in. Waiting for that gank. Not level 6 yet. From these junglers or these bot laners. Flash out of the Swain. Orianna just walks out of it. Bot lane clearing up some vision. Swain went mid. Orn hitting pretty hard. Has the level lead on this set, but Set's still charging. Looking to fight. Because it's Set. He just punches things. Ultimate out of Set. Orn responds with his Fire Flame. The grip from Set falling. Set running back to his tower. Did not get what he wanted out of that trade. Syndra roaming down to ward the Dragon. Volibear in mid. Ivern getting top scuttle crab. Smite secures the Smuttle Crab, lands the Root and Daisy on the Volibear. Ivern pushing forward just to do something. Try to get something started, setting up for these Void Grubs. Volibear retreats to his jungle. Bot lane has pressure on the side of ECU. Pushing that lane out is Jin by himself. This looks like the free Void Grubs for the side of ECU will help with their tower pressure. Pings going on the side of this bot lane. Jin able to farm this lane by himself. Volibear pinging the Dragon, wanting to do Dragon, knowing that ECU just got Void Grubs. Jin gets ignited, walks away, will live. They're just going to give Dragon here. It's the first Dragon of the game. So if ECU looking for tower pressure, looking to set up for this mid-game push, those void grubs, that means that Rift Herald will be very important to them. Dragon falling very slowly for MIU. That W from Set is just broken. The amount of shield he gets and damage that does is wild. Volibear looking to invade with Swain. Ivern here to respawn. What will happen next? Ivern flashes away, but Volibear flashes with the stun. The bot lane's responding. Flash engage from Rel. Jin doing damage. ECU outnumbered, but trying to defend their jungle. Beautiful shockwave from this Orianna gets the kill on the Volibear in the top lane. Set solo bolo onto the Ornn. Orianna doing what they can. Everyone is so low, but because they picked off some kills early, ECU was kind of staggered in that fight. The aggressive, overextended position of the side of MIU working in that scenario there. Rail clearing vision. Looking at the farm leads, jungle's tied up. Ivern with the swipe lead. Set starting to come online, just got a solo kill. Story of these mid laners, Nathan Lewis doing his best to farm and stay caught up. Does not have an item completed or any kills yet. This bot lane on the side of ECU, even in farm, down in kills. There hasn't been a whole lot of team fights. There was the early pickoffs early, and then just this last kill, this last team fight where MIU decided to push in, knowing they had the item advantage, looking to fight. Things going on in the bot lane. With this gank from Volibear. Great engage. Jin running the wrong way though. Volibear will catch him. Can ECU get here quick enough to save the Jin? It looks like they'll just walk away. He will get away. That is wild. That is insane. Back to the top lane. Okay, Ivern lands the root. ECU looking to disengage. Scorp Commander hitting his abilities. We haven't seen a big ultimate out of him yet, but there really hasn't been the opportunity. MIU playing the aggressors when they have Volibear. It's understandable. This Ivern needs to farm and get some items underneath him. His team as well, so that they can carry and win the game. Make an impact from this mid laner is what we want to see out of Nathan Lewis. He's just a level down. Oh, that damage from Syndra is ridiculous. Set the ult on the Ornn. Can he get enough damage off? Ultimate out of the Ornn. They'll walk away. Big fight in the bot lane. Ultimate out of this Jin. He's going to pick up a double kill. Ultimate out of the Xayah. Beautiful timing from Scorp Commander on this Jin to land that last tick of his ultimate onto that Xayah to pick up the kill. Swain running. Can't do much else inside of ECU. This Syndra has to know that the fun police are coming. Picks up the kill on Nathan Lewis and the Orianna. Looks like Ornn got the kill on the Set. Let's rewind that and see what happened. Almost. These two dueling about 200 health. Wave on the side of the Syndra. The Syndra with this long range though. Oh man. Unfortunate. We're looking to get the kill on the Syndra here. Jin coming up behind. Syndra lands the stun on the Rel. Doing a lot of damage here. Syndra is kind of broken. Iron with the Daisy. Can Daisy pick up this kill? What? Oh, they're going to give to the set. Smart. Give that shutdown. Give that gold to your mean fighting machine and set. He has Black Cleaver completed. Huge power spike. Set with the most gold.
Turret plating will soon fall.
On the side of the ECU right now. Bot lane battled back in that last team fight. MIU still, though, aggressive with this positioning in the red side of jungle of ECU. They're going to push to get this tower. They're set up into position. Dragon spawning soon. Rift Herald in a minute. Dragon in 30 seconds. MIU's going to look to stack these dragons. Picks up the first tower. Red team destroyed the first turret, indeed.
Blue team's turret has been destroyed.
Volibear 2 levels below Ivor. And they're pushing this aggressively. At some point, ECU will come together and we'll put an end to this. Azaya in the front line. Jen gets the poke off. Pushing forward is this Swain. See what I said? That ultimate from Swain, but there's no follow-up. ECU able to walk away, then re-engage with Daisy. It's going to go back to the top lane. Ooh, that W is doing a lot of damage. It's going to go back to the team fight here pretty soon, I'm sure. This dragon, a very important objective. MIU stacking up in this pixel brush.
Watch out! Daisy Stampede!
Syndra isn't here. She's still farming. She'll look to get a pincher. Beautiful triple stun knockup.
Our own strength. Bring
The engage from Volibear onto Ivor, onto Jin. He flashes out. MIU picks up the dragon. Beautiful three-man shockwave from Orianna. Jin ult. Double kill onto the side of Jin. Let's back that up and review it. Slow it down.
one more.
Play-by-play here.
Daisy, be gentle.
Orianna ball onto Rel. Beautiful three-man knockup from Daisy. Jin 2. Shock.
Watch out! Daisy's really
Ball onto Rel. Rel's going to go in with this Orianna. Ball on her. Okay, so right here, Volibear is going to jump in with his ultimate onto Jin. Stun him. Jin flashes out. Smart. We got Rel here with the shockwave. The triple shot. Boom. Hits one Volibear. Boom. Triple shockwave. Jin ultimate. Xayah ultimate. Boom. Cleans up. Jin ult cleans up Swain. They flash from Syndra. Flash from Xayah. Gets the double kill. Xayah almost falls.
bring up.
Beautiful team fight from the side of ECU, even though MIU picked up the dragon. First two dragons.
Use this gift well.
The ECU's looking to get this mid lane here with full Void Grubs. This is the power of Void Grubs when 7 of those things help you hit this tower. Surely ECU's going to look at this Rift Herald next. Well, it's MIU.
Armoring up.
Looks like Xayah's going to get this mid tower.
Blue team's turret
Indeed.
has been destroyed.
A response. Tower for tower in the mid lane. Cinder just used her teleport. into the red side jungle. But the fight's on this blue side as Ivern pushes at this Volley Bear for the fight over this Rift Herald. This is the main objective right now. If used properly, this secures at least 1 to 2 towers. In some rare instances, it can net you 3 towers if played properly. Groupings, fights in the jungle. Ivern just kind of baiting around with Rel. Jin's here. Orianna down in bot lane though, pushing. We do have Set here, but a team fight without Orianna doesn't seem like the ideal situation for ECU. As Jin and Rel walk at this Syndra. Rift Herald picked up on the side of MIU. MIU pinging this tower as Orianna pushes a full 2 waves into it. A lot of damage is going to be done by those minions. Minions get the tower to half by themselves at this point when it's just 2 waves. Some emotes going on in the top lane. Pings on the map. The MIU has vision in the jungle deep. They've been tracking this Ivern the whole game. I don't think Andy's went through there and just sweeped it yet. Ornn pushing forward, just walking the minions into the wave. Gets the tower with the demolish proc. Set ultimate, Ornn knockup, 2W. Big 2 out of Set. That shield falling fast. He will run for his life, but Ornn looks like he's going to walk him down. We'll get that kill. That Rift Herald securing the dragon, securing that tower. It looks like he's going to run it into this tower and try to pick up more value. Will not be able to turn it sharp enough out of this Xayah. But they do want this next tower. Volley Bear jumps on Rel, but Rel's extremely tanky. Doesn't even feel it. Doesn't even phase him. Retreats back to the tower with the Orianna. Look at this vision on the side of MIU. On this side of the jungle, just completely controlling the vision. ECU really needed to regroup on this rail, look for a fight, and clear some of this vision. As these wards right here, that's some deep wards from the side of MIU. Swain pinging out that dragon spawns in 40 seconds. Xayah going in aggressive with her ult on the Jhin. Dies to the Jhin, but Jhin will lose his life as well. MIU pushing. ECU out of position to help this Jhin out. Jhin gets jumped on, but takes the Xayah with him. That will be the end of the push siege from the side of MIU as they ping this Atacon. It's just spawned at 20 minutes. Set taking this tower, doing what Set does. You're never out of the game when you have a Set on your team. I'm telling you. He will fight anybody and everybody, any chance he gets. This Atacon, the main objective, Rel coming in, gets vision on the dragon. TPing in is Set. Could this be a huge play as this Set looks to collapse on them with the Rel? Orianna ball on the Rel. Look for a giant shockwave here. They're running from Set. They don't want any part of it. Set with the 2-man ultimate. He dies. Orianna shockwave picks up that kill. Look to turn on this Atacon as the team of ECU. Looking for a big team fight here as this Ornn walks in. Cinder W doesn't land. Ivern secures the Atacon. Xayah's going to fall. This Jin's going to connect. Xayah dolls. Ivern fell to the Syndra. Rel with 200 health. allowing the carries to get out for the side of ECU. It's a good thing they picked up this Atacon. Volibear running straight directly at this dragon for that third dragon, that soul point. The gold lead, only 1,000 gold. It's been pretty steady, even lead. There hasn't been a whole lot of bleeding from the CS on either team. Ornn with a 30 CS lead over Set. Huge bounty on this Ornn. He's huge, giant, tanky. But jungle Jesse is outclassing this Hydrus on Volibear. Nathan is just 15 CS down, so he's only 2 waves down to CS. It's not bad. Bot lane tied up. 2 items onto everybody for the side of ECU. 2 items for the side of everybody on the side of MIU in this mid game. First people that can get their most objectives and get that 3rd item completed on these carries, once they start to get 3 to 4 items on these carries and these mid laners, is when you really see the damage start to shine through. Volibear picking up his jungle. Up in CS, or he's down in CS, down a level. Mid laner up a level for the side of MIU, but this bot lane for ECU is ahead. The jungle and bot lanes for ECU ahead, the mid laner and top laner, these individual laners ahead for MIU, which kind of makes sense as ECU doesn't have their normal mid laner. They subbed both their top laners into play today. So watching them still compete is a great thing. And this is just the first game, the first match of 3. It's the best of 3 series. Set, gonna get this tower. Look at MIU group pushing into the blue side of this jungle. That's been the story all game. This Ivern still farming confidently, but MIU just always pushing to look to get these picks with this Volibear leading the way. If it's ever a front-to-back 5v5, I think ECU just takes it down, as this MIU has to group, excuse me, onto this Swain and in front of this Xayah so that she can do damage. ECU chasing. Daisy in the lead. MIU just running so they can get a favorable position in this choke point. ECU will not fall for the bait. They will not run into that tri-bush choke point. They will want to take the fight in more open space in the river, not the smallest of choke points where Swain can lock you down, or that Syndra can be most effective with a multi-man stun. ECU catches this Ornn out of position. He is level 16. He is tanky. How much will they invest into him to try to kill him? There's the shockwave out of Orianna, the Set ult. They just want to kill him. Ornn ults. Ornn will fall. It's a 5v4. Xayah ult. Volibear ult. It's mayhem. It's mayhem. We're going to slow this down and we're going to rewatch it. 0.5. Alright, let's get it right here. Slow it up. I want to be able to commentate this properly. Boom. There's the Set too. Picks up the kill. Looks to turn on the enemy team. Big Ori ult. Volley ult. Swain in there with his ultimate. Xayah doing it. There's the Orianna shockwave. Ivern flashes away. Syndra picks up the kill though. Set with the 2-man knock there. Jhin hit him with some ultimates, baby. Pick up the kill. Xayah ultimate. Can't believe they had their ultimate for that long. Flash from the Jhin. Gets the kill. Orianna and Jhin on this Syndra. Ace. Triple kill out of the Jhin. Ace out of the side of ECU onto MIU. It's a 5 for 3. It's a great fight out of ECU. This mid game, that is wild. That is nuts. ECU finally takes the gold lead at a 1,000 gold lead at 25 minutes in. Baron's up. They take down this tower. They want more. It was an ace. They're dead for 20 seconds. Yeah, Ornn, no flash. No flash of Xayah. No flash. The only flash is Volibear and Syndra. Syndra has teleport as well. ECU picking up this inhib. Great consolation prize. Now you have super minions pushing. You have breathing air to try to get Baron Volibear running at this Jin. Flash out of Volibear. Picks up the kill. But that's fine. Jin will see you in 30 seconds with another item, bud. Yep, he got his Lord Doms completed. That's crazy. Down by 2 kills, 18 to 20, but up in gold. It's almost as if the early kills don't matter as much. They just kind of dictate how the laning phase goes. No one likes the laning phase. It's only 14 minutes, but it's kind of it's not the focal point of the match. Usually this mid game is. MIU kills Daisy. Jin respawns. Cinder on that bot side. Orianna pushing that wave out. Has TP. Surely when Cinder gets here, they'll look to engage. If ECU doesn't look to engage before that, because they have the numbers advantage until Cinder shows up.
Gotcha. Use this gift wrap.
ECU pushing mid lane as a team. Cinder at this little cheeky river bush, the 5-man grouping from MIU, looking to catch somebody out and push mid. 1-3-1 split push from ECU. You have Set in the top lane, Orion in the bot lane, and then Rel, Ivern, and Jin roaming together. MIU looks for their Dragon Soul. ECU is here. It's a 50-50. Volibear picks up the 4th Dragon Soul. That is Soul Point. Hex Tech Soul. ECU looking to engage after that dragon as the Set gets the top lane tower on his own. We'll fight this Orange, that massive W. Half health Orange. Set going in, taking chunks. ECU with the dominant position, looking to collapse on Ornn here. They go in, W lands, Ornn ultimate. Set can't get his 2 off, he will die. He was interrupted. Swain picks up the kill. Not the end of the world. Ivern caught. Looking. Pushed up. Great damage out of this Orianna. Sorry about that. As ECU looking to kite away. But MIU looking to end it. Ace in return from that last team fight. Dragon Soul's too many stats. We didn't have the best dragon control. MIU got every dragon. They pick up this Baron. Can they push with it? They have 3 minutes of this buff to push. Try to end the game. Let's see what happens for the side of ECU. Versus MIU. What will happen? Can ECU hold off until Elder Dragon spawns? That way they can maybe steal that and get enough stats to compete with this Dragon Soul buffed team. ECU did get the Atacon, but those 4 dragon buffs and that Dragon Soul is going to give MIU a tremendous amount of stats. Farm pretty close. Xayah a little bit more farm than this Jin, but Jin with 2 more kills. 3 bounties on the side of MIU. MIU with 4 people in mid, 1 people in bot lane. Cinder looking to engage. Here, Set picks out the Ornn. Ornn dashes out. Ivern Bush will make it hard for MIU to push, even with that Baron. Engage. Ornn ult. Orianna hits her Zonias. Rel goes in with 3-man knockup shockwave. No one falls yet. Jin ultimate landing on Ornn. Lands a 3rd ult. Oh, misses the 4th ult. Set goes in, getting shredded. Gets a W off. Almost one-shots the Zaya and two others. But MIU tanky from that Hextech Dragon Toll Baron buff. Enough to withstand the damage. There was no follow-up damage with that set. It is unfortunate. MIU looking to end the game here. Flash out of the Volley Bear, picks up the Orianna. MIU picking up the first match of this best of three. GGU to the side of ECU. ECU falls in the first match. Wow. What an intense game. Set with the most damage in the game. Even more than the enemy Syndra. Hybrid more of a support champion. Even though he doubled Volley's damage, the Orianna damage was not able to connect as much as the Syndra. Syndra just more point and click. Orianna more of a skill shot champion. The bot lane's pretty much even as well. It was a solid game. Just the damage from the mid laner was the difference in this game. It's unfortunate, but GG. Go to the in-between games, match score display. I'll turn some music on, and I'm going to go back on mute. We'll get ready for this next match. Hello. Back into the action. After a quick 5-minute break here, we got the draft screen loaded back up. Get my spooky music turned down here. Halloween Lo-Fi Radio. It's great. This being the Fearless Draft, you'll notice that these teams will not be able to pick the same champions that they just picked. Again. Check. Get back to the action. As they've started their picks and bans, ECU bans Ari first pick. Again, MIU banning Mundo, not wanting to deal with that. They must not have champions like Gwen or some health shredding champions in their game pool. But even though the split push potential from Mundo is just ridiculous, it's annoying to play against. I understand the ban. I understand why they would ban that. A Morgana ban out of the side of ECU. Interesting. Maybe their mid laner support comfortable on that champion. An Aurora ban out of the set of MIU. Maybe that's one of the pocket picks of someone on the side of ECU. I'm not sure. But again, another annoying champion with just the mad amounts of poke and push and presence from her ultimate. It's a good ban. ECU banning Silas. Again, that Lulu ban on the side of MIU, not wanting to give that to Andy. As he just played his rail, it's interesting to see what he'll play next. Victor locked in for the side of ECU. Looking to go to Nathan Lewis on that mid lane. Victor very strong once he gets 2 or 3 items. Jarvan locked in on the side of MIU. A solid jungle pick. It's kind of scary with his map pressure and early gank ability. Walked in the side of MIU. Could that be a jungle or could it be a mid pick? Not sure how Echo plays into the Victor. Probably pretty well if they picked it. Urgot locked in on the side of ECU. Normally a character we see picked by Nathan Lewis, as he's very confident on that champion. I'm kind of confused on who's playing what in this draft. Usually I know, but throwing up a little spice and variety with their normal mid laner being gone. Jinx locked in for the side of ECU. Scorp Commander, great control on this Jinx. With her just recent buffs, I'm excited to see this champion played. If I had to guess, it will be Nami or some sort of tank played on the side of your hero Andy on the side of ECU when it comes to their support pick. Wukong locked in for MIU. Looks like Wukong jungle, Echo mid lane. No. Jarvan jungle, Echo mid lane, Wukong top lane. This draft from MIU looking to flex things up, moves things around a little bit. Braum banned, as Braum's Jinx would be nasty. Braum could totally negate the dive composition for this MIU. I'm sure ECU right now, recognizing the composition, is looking for anti-dive out of these last two champions. Some CC, some knockback. And what do you ban now? Ashe. Ashe would be nasty behind these champions. Just throwing an Ashe arrow and slows and vision to these front line brawlers. Wukong into Urgot. I'm kind of excited. Wukong can get in and out of that Urgot W. Wukong could stand a chance. Unless it's like Urgot mid Victor solo lane, which would just be totally insane. Nautilus banned on the side of MIU. Yet again, great anti-dive. Alistar banned for the side of ECU. Great ban. I do not want to see Alistar running around with those three. As you can see, they've locked in the Misfortune, so those three can just jump around and do their damage, and Misfortune locked in behind them. There's not a whole lot of pill or CC for the side of this MIU, but there's not a lot of dive for ECU to get at the Misfortune. So, interesting draft picks. The strategies of these games being played out by these coaches is quite interesting to see in these fearless draft picks. It makes it exciting. Nunu locked in for the side of ECU. Jesse will get Nunu. The disgusting pick for the side of Jesse is Nunu. Letting him get that Nunu could spell disaster for the side of MIU. Nami locked in. It is the Nami. I guess the Nami pick. Great composition for ECU. I like it. They're just going to wait for the Jarvan or the Echo or the Wukong to go in. Get hit with a Nami knockup, Nunu stun, into the slows, into Jinx traps with an Urgot and Victor's cage as well. MIU locking in Blitzcrank. Looking for these total pick potential. Interesting draft from the side of MIU. They're going to look for picks. And with the Misfortune pick, it just like it screams waiting for ECU to make a bad engage, but there's not much engage potential for the side of ECU other than just Urgot being there by himself, or a Nunu Snowball, or a Nami pick. This is more of a disengage comp from ECU completely, but with this MIU going completely dive potential with this more Misfortune running around in your back line. Interesting to see here. Looks like Brecken was able to finally make it as he is going to be able to play mid lane on this Victor. Moving Nathan Lewis to top lane on this Urgot, getting Nunu on Tinfoil Hatman. Jinx on Scorp Commander. ECU, I know for a fact, has a more confident lineup in Champ Select in the second game of this best of three. Looking to get the next two W's here and remain undefeated on the season. Loading in on the matchup, the game here. Get out of the way. ECU with a lot more mastery points, a lot more comfortable on these champions than it looks like the side of MIU in this game. Ping's going off in that mid lane from the blue side. not wanting to allow this MIU team to group as 5 and get another pick. They went bot lane last game. This game they're going top side. ECU going bot lane here this time. See what happens. See what kind of deep vision wards we can get off. Track these junglers, as Nunu and Jarvan are both hyper gank characters. Looks like both ECU got the vision on the blue side. Jungle looking to back as 5. MIU getting the blue side jungle warded as well. Walking back to their positionings. Ping's going off like crazy. Both junglers starting on their red buff, having opposite of each other. Lets me know that ECU just wants to farm, and MIU wants to get pressure in that bot lane. Urgot versus Wukong, you assume that Urgot gets the primary push and poke in that matchup. Looking down in this bot lane. Stalemate, just looking to get as much farm as we can right now. Usually last hitting this second wave, then pushing in a tower, kind of resetting buying items is the general play. Echo getting a lot of damage and poke up onto that Victor. Wukong poking the Urgot out. Wukong having priority was something that you would think would happen early, but it does. Lots of farming and poke going off just 2 minutes into this game. This Jarvan's going to look to gank bot. This Jarvan does. Didn't farm 3 camps, just looking to get active. Is this Jarvan. Flash, hook from Blitz on Anami with the Ignite. Jarvan picking up this first Bud, taking 2 tower shots. Jhin not doing damage right now. Victor's cage. Urgot, Wukong going at it too. Urgon flips Wukong flashes. Very great play to survive as that Urgot and almost pick up the kill. If one more tower shot lands on that Wukong, he gets the kill. Just not quite enough damage on this Victor yet to take out this Echo. Echo picks up the kill in the solo. Bolo. But Victor more of a scaling champion. Doesn't really do a whole lot of damage early. He picks up that Rod of Ages. A Cole on the side of Urgot looking to farm efficiently. Has a CS lead. Nunu, way more CS than this Jarvan. This Jarvan ganked early, got a kill, but Nunu's going to be ahead in levels. Look to make an impact on the map at level 6. So will Jarvan. Who can get there first? As usual play for jungles. Jarvan attempting to gank Urgot. Urgot will have none of it. Looking to farm him in this mid lane. 2 waves crashing in on this Wukong. Wukong will not be able to freeze this wave. Goes in. The Jarvan's here. That's the reason. Flash out of this Jarvan. Urgot with the instant 3. Tries to walk out. Will die. Nunu getting pressure. Looking to gank this bot lane. Coming around on the flank. MIU picks it up and will run back to their tower. Nunu just goes for the bush camp, trying to get some jungle. MIU not allowing it to happen. It's going to collapse on this Nunu. Nunu in a very bad position. Flashes out. Great bait out of Jesse. The Victor cage to stop the Echo. I love to see that play there. You go for the invade, but to make it out alive, when they collapse on you, double knockup from this Nami. Jinx lands her slow. Urgot going to comfortably farm under its tower. Jarvan level 3 taking down this first jungle. ECU nowhere near it. Maybe collapses now. They see the vision. Nunu not in position. But can they get a kill out of this? Flash out of the Echo, but he's in the wrong neighborhood. They will commit on this Nami. Nami falls. Echo falls to Nunu. Great double stun knockup. Jarvan will fall to Victor eventually. But Victor no mana picks up the kill. Blitzcrank no mana as well. So Victor looking to fight all of them. He's pretty strong. G's coming in for the kill. Beautiful. Giving that gold over to Scorp Commander. Love to see that team play out of ECU. Spreading the gold out amongst their carries. Kills up 5-3 on the outside of MIU with those early ganks from Jarvan. However, ECU has a slight gold lead. Victor looking to back. Both jungles hovering this top side with Urgot pushing into Wukong. Misfortune getting the push from bot lane with Jinx getting that kill and back in there to buy items. Nunu looking to farm these wolves and get to top lane as Jarvan's already made it there. Jarvan's been skipping farm to make things happen. He's under leveled. They ignite the Urgot. Nunu going top side. Jarvan going bot side. Nunu looking for this kill on the Wukong. Nunu picks up the kill on the Wukong. Lets out the ultimate. How much damage is he going to do? Almost one-shots the Jarvan. Picks up the kill on Jarvan. They're committing 4 people to this top when it was just 2 people. Picking up 2 kills in top lane onto this Nunu. ECU getting the best of that trade. Pressure down in this bot lane from ECU. Let's go, Donnie. Hello, Sailor Brandy. ECU fell in the first match of this best of 3, but they're looking a lot more solid in this second match. I'm sure things will open up in this mid game. Nami just misses the bubble, but Jinx picking up some turret plating with some extra gold in that pocket for some more items. ECU doing these void grubs. Wukong walking into it, but surely being alone, there's nothing he can do. Yeah. Nunu just picking up these wood grubs for free with the help of Urgot. Echo engaging. Victor dropping the cage will push him away. Gets him to about half health. Nunu picks up the void grubs. He will go mid, but look at this Echo. As Urgot is tanky enough to handle his own against this Wukong now. Ignite down from Wukong. Flash down on Echo. Flash down on Nunu, but other than that, everybody has their summoners. As we're duking it out in this top lane here, Urgot with the level lead. Surely looking to bait this Wukong into committing into his W, then getting the ultimate off. Wukong knowing will back off. Victor with that great poke on his 3. Back to the top lane. Wukong engages. E from the Urgot. Urgot lands the ultimate. Wukong will fall. They engage onto Victor in the mid lane. Let's back that up a little bit. See what happened. Blitzcrank and Jarvan here looking for the cheeky kill onto Victor. ECU unbeknownst. Jarvan 1-3 into the tower. Ultimate Echo. Hook from the Blitzcrank. Victor falls. Echo ultimates out of the tower. That's a great play by the side of MIU. That's really a great play. There's not much you can do there. Let's speed that up. Get back to normal. No objectives up. Dragon in a minute. These teams looking to back, get some vision, and get control over this next dragon fight. As Vector has pushed in the mid lane, Nunu rolling in down to bot lane. What's happening here? MIU has vision. They see the Nunu coming. They will back up. MIU in this bot lane, has no vision, wants vision, unsure of where the Nunu is, as he just showed. Nunu's going to back 30 seconds before this dragon spawns. Run back bot side. Even though his top side jungle's up, it looks like he's going to go top side to farm his jungle. Dragon not the main focus right now. As Jarvan's backing, let's see where he got passed out of the lane. Bot lane backing. Jarvan running to bot side. Very interesting to watch these teams and their timings and tempo as they set up for these main objectives. ECU looks like they're going to look to farm, forego this dragon possibly. Nunu got his blue buff. Jarvan's running at the dragon that spawns. Nunu going to look to counter jungle. Ping's going off in the mid lane. Looks like they're not going to want to commit to the dragon until they get a kill or two. Chasing this Jarvan. Chasing this Victor with the Jarvan ultimate. 3 men committed to Victor. Victor falls. Misfortune falls though in this bot lane. Responding in the top lane. Wukong goes in for the Urgot. Nunu in mid lane. 3v1. Gets 2.5 health. Jinx just pushing this bot lane as she should. Scorp Commander Miguel getting as much gold as he can so that he can carry late. So it's almost as MIU could have got this dragon earlier, but Jinx is going to back now. Let those minions do some work. Rotate over to bot here. Hopefully not give them this dragon to them for free. It's the main objective. It's mainly the reason they lost the last game is because they gave up every dragon. Nunu come in. Confident. Thanks for the leash, Jarvan, and the free dragon. Oh, surely this dragon goes over the side of ECU. Oh, yes, excuse me. Turning. Looking to fight. Blitz hook. MF ult. Picks up the kill on a Jinx. Jinx with that. Not the best position in there. Echo looking to turn. Goes on this Nunu. Snowballs away. Still chasing. Okay, no harm, no foul. Scorp Commander overstayed their welcome a little bit. Did complete their first item off that farm, though. 3-1, walking back to lane. This Jink is fed just where you want them to be. With an item advantage, going mid lane. Looking to transition out of this laning phase into the mid game. It's a party in the blue side jungle. Jarvan falls to Jinx. Jinx with 200 health. Kiting it out or blocking. Looking to kill this Echo. Gets ultimated by Urgot. Urgot pulling them away from Jinx. The ultimate lands. Big damage onto this Blitzcrank. From this Urgot. Jinx able to kite back in. Pick up the kill. Jinx is sped up. That's just Wukong. They're chasing them out of their jungle. This game, much more definitive for ECU. Wukong picks up the kill on the Jinx, though, looking to turn and back on this Nami, getting Nunu and Urgot. That is a lot of damage out of this Wukong with that Triforce completed. Urgot picks up the kill. We have a bounty on Nunu who's facilitating this game great. Looks like he's out farming almost double the farm of this Jarvan, who has opted to not full clear and gank a lot, which kept him in the game early, got them some kills, but when it comes to these groups and these skirmishes, they push like they did last game and they're getting shut down. With a 2,000 gold lead to the side of ECU as they look to push. These little turret platings looking to fall in the next 15 seconds, trying to get some gold while they can. This dragon still... It's tied up in dragons. Rift spawning. Rift Herald spawning is 1 minute, as you see that pinged out by Jesse on this Nunu. I've been at 0.5. Let's speed it up. What am I doing? Oh, excuse me. Blitzcrank pushing for vision by himself in the blue side. Nunu's backing. Sees him. 3 wards right there. They're setting up for Rift Herald. MIU It's impressive with their vision control. Echo trying to split push. Urgot not liking it, wanting to fight. Chunking this Echo out. This Urgot is massive at this moment. Still looking at the mid lane. MIU trying to set up for this Rift Herald, but ECU just farming up. Get it back. Rift spawns in 20 seconds. And Misfortune backing. Victor farming this top lane. Looking to get collapsed on. You've seen it multiple times this game. MIU groups his 3 and looks to just take out this Victor, as Eternal Frost can control the game on this champion. Nunu engaging on this Misfortune with Jinx, Rockets, landing. Ultimate just missing. Counter ultimate, Jinx ultimate, Jarvan pulls the Nunu. Nunu ultimate, Nami ultimate, catches 2. Jinx is doing damage in the backline. Victor picks up a double kill. And this mid lane tower looking to fall at the hands of ECU. Great fight. Great skirmish on the side of ECU to not lose any. Just picking off the bot lane for MIU. As Blink's Misfortune is nasty in the lane. But when it comes to mid game, they can be caught out of position, and that is exactly what's happening. Jarvan looking to collapse on this Urgot, although he is level 9. Urgot pretty tanky, trying to get back to that tower. Casted the ultimate, Jarvan executed. Echo ultimate. Gets the fear off. Urgot doing the most damage. Picks up a double kill in the 1v2. Nathan Lewis, impressive. A dominating 1v2 fight in that bot lane out of his Urgot here. That is exactly what you want to see out of your top laner. You get ganked and you just absolutely turn it around. ECU backing. Going to spin their gold. I did not see who got the Rift Herald. I apologize for that, but that is some action right there. ECU expanding their lead in this mid game. 16 kills to 11. 30k gold to 26k gold. They have a 4k gold lead. ECU just absolutely showcasing how well they can do when they're on their champions, if they're comfortable and they have their main guys in their main roles. Nunu coming in mid lane. Looking to get active on this bot lane again. Nami healing the Nunu from behind. Those heals are massive. Lands the knockup on Blitzcrank. Jinx finally here. Wukong eats the ultimate. Nunu falls, but he was just there to get the fight started off. Wukong ultimate connects on the Jinx. Blitz grips the Urgot. That is an impressive team fight out of MIU. As ECU started the fight, but not everybody was in position. MIU ready for it. Counter engaged. Played the fight well. Picked up the kills. We'll look at this dragon. Nothing much ECU can do about it at this point in regards to this dragon. It's not the end of the world. It's only the second dragon, but you want to play the next objective fight better so that you can be in a better position. MIU catching up a little bit in gold from 4K to 2K. Blitz with the Hex Flash. Grip on the Nami. MF ultimate. They invest everything to get that Nami, but Victor and Nunu here. Half health Blitzcrank. Pings going off all over the map from the side of the blue side. They're pinging the Jarvan. They want to know where he's at. But with your support dead, there's not much more you can push to do. Nunu just farming up his jungle here. Wukong going to push out that top lane. Urgot in the bot lane in this 1v1 versus Echo. Urgot is able to side lane efficiently and 1v1 anyone on the side of this MIU team. That is a valuable asset for ECU. He is Nathan Lewis in on that Urgot, indeed. It's fun to watch. A slight lull in the game here as it's 18, 19 minutes. The Atacon spawns in a minute. The dragon doesn't spawn for what? Dragon spawns in 3 minutes. This is where you're just looking to farm and maybe set up a pick and roam together at this point. Collapsing on the bot lane. Victor looking to 1v1 this Wukong with a level advantage. Will Victor pick up the solo kill? He does! Victor finally online doing damage. Ludens. Haunting guys. Completed boots. Look at the collapse on this Jinx. Jarvan ultimate. Jinx flashes out. Saves their life. Misfortune flashes forward. Urgot joins the fight. He's going to pick up the kill on Blitzcrank. Surely. Misfortune ultimate in their side of the jungle. Nunu doesn't care. One gets the kill on Jarvan. Blitzcrank dead. Jarvan dead. Wukong respawns. ECU looking to pressure while they have the advantage to keep this momentum and tempo rolling. But Misfortune has good wave clear alongside this Echo. But ECU looking to push with no objectives on the map besides this Atacon. They will look to either push an objective or get another pick before they do the objective. MIU pinging bot lane as that wave's pushing towards them. Someone will need to respond to that. Looks like it'll be Echo. ECU backing as a team to reset and probably push towards this Atacon. As Echo shows on the bot side of this map, this is a perfect time to push the objective. With TP about to come up, they're set up so Echo can join this fight later. Jinx just completed her Infinity Edge. With that item completion on Jinx looking to chew this enemy team up even much more. 2 items completed out of everybody on the side of ECU. While some of the members on MIU only have 1 item completed, looking to get their second item completed. Urgot Wukong dueling it out. Echo looking aggressive, but Victor flashes. Echo ultimate. Victor looking to chase him down. Echo extremely slippery though and hard to chase. Victor just the ops to clear the wave. No one's invading anymore. They're just clearing their own jungles, looking to set up for this Atacon. Victor has teleport for when they decide to do this Atacon push, as does Echo. Urgot maybe caught out a little bit. Echo and Blitzcrank going in on him. Jarvan coming in, flash out of the Urgot. Very smart. Looking for a vision fight before we get this objective going. Everybody's pinging in the objective. Everyone knows what needs to happen, but can we make it happen? Nunu engages onto the Misfortune, almost kills the Misfortune. Jarvan there to help him. Victor, or Blitzcrank, level 9. Not real tanking, just looking for a pick. Prime opportunity to grab one of the squishies out of position. ECU committing to this Atacon. You see all that vision in the tri-bush. It's a very important objective. It's complete stats for the whole game. ECU picking up the Atacon. The immediate response out of the side of MIU is to run at this 3rd dragon. This is Dragon Soul point. 4th dragon is Dragon Soul. This is the point. ECU will not be able to make it in time. It's a fair trade. You just better be sure to be at the 4th one. Collapsing. Nunu engaging with the snowball. Blitzcrank hook. Victor behind him. Jarvan ult. Victor throws his ultimate out. Picks up the kill onto Jarvan. The ultimate gets bigger. They pick up the kill onto Jarvan. It's 1 man down. ECU looking to push. With the movement speed on the Nunu with that snowball from Nami. Victor picks up the kill onto Echo. Wukong split pushing, opting to get that first tower in the top lane. ECU not much caring. They're going to look to push this mid. With 3 dead, only 2 to defend. Wukong split pushing. ECU knocking on the base of MIU in this second match of the best of 3. Absolutely executing while pushing these towers right now is ECU. Wukong base racing against 4. Picks up his 2nd tower most likely as ECU picks up 2 inhibitors. Misfortune ultimate too late. Just enough to clear the wave. ECU backing out now. Looking to back, looking to clear some vision, looking to get some vision. ECU. Looking to set up in 30 seconds for this next Baron, while Dragon has 3.5 to spawn. If ECU can lock down this Baron with as much as their base of the MIUs they've taken, they could push the end of the game off of one team fight. This next team fight decides the fate of the game, I believe. MIU pushing that mid lane, but Victor, great wave clear, sends out the ultimate on the Echo. It connects with Misfortune. Misfortune dies. Echo will fall. Jinx sped up. Just absolutely doing the most damage. Nunu gets credit for the kill on the Echo. Nunu pushing out towards this Baron, looking to clear that up. ECU pushing down mid lane. Urgot in the bot lane. Split pushing. ECU absolutely dominating. Picking up this kill on a Jarvan. They're going to keep pushing. They might not even go from Baron. They don't need Baron. With both these lanes of super minions pushing up on these Nexus towers. 4 men dead on the side of MIU. Spawning is the bot lane in 10 seconds. Nunu almost dying. Will fall to ignite from Wukong. But ECU doesn't care. They take out the Nexus towers. Jinx just sped up, destroying that Nexus. And a great showing from ECU to pick up that second win. With a great performance from ECU in the mid game, they pick up that dominant victory. Looking at the damage here, Victor standing out with almost 30k damage compared to almost doubling the damage of the mid laner. Jungle doing more damage. Top lane doing more damage from ECU. The bot lane, however, did just a slight amount more damage than ECU, but ECU was able to do the damage when it counted and picks up the kills with this much more tanky front line. An exciting game. I'm going to go ahead and hit continue, play again, go back on mute, put y'all on some highlights, and then we'll continue for the third match of this best of 3. ECU looking to stay undefeated. Thanks for viewing. Apparently, JV won their first game as well of the best of 3. Yes, let's go ECU, GG. Play again. It's going to bring me back to the spectate. I'm going to send you all over to the between scores game or some highlights. I'm going to turn this music up and I'm going to go on mute and get some water. Thanks for staying tuned on this Thursday night. Giving you some exciting gameplay. Yes, Chimera, you've missed out on a lot of action. It's tied right now, one match to one match. This is the third match. This third game will decide who wins the series. You came just in time. MIU won the first match, then ECU just came back with a resounding, dominant statement and won the second one. Everyone's back. We're already deep into the ban phase. The same bans from MIU that they've banned in every match as the Mundo Aurora, banning the Affilios for their third away from the Scorp Commander. ECU banning Morgana Ari again, this time adding a Kali to that ban list. Locking in that Silas for Eternal Frost in the mid lane as he was dominant on that pick last week. How will MIU respond at the Pioneers Esports team? Will lock in Sivir for their ADC just so they can have push and wave management in that team fight ultimate. Blocking Azir for the mid lane. Azir extreme, really, really good objective control and wave manage as well as push. Extremely mechanical and hard to play. In my opinion, it's a great champ. It's just really hard to play. ECU locking in Ashe for Scorp Commander. Great vision control, locking in Braum. That is a pretty nasty duo lane. And Ashe Braum coming at you with the Freljord, looking to lock you up, stun you. 3 different ways till Sunday is this ECU team. MIU locking in that Alistar. They couldn't ban it away. Alistar's a great pick. He just always sustains after, like, once he hits level 3, he has just so much sustain naturally. MIU looking to ban away some potential top lane and jungle positions. Because that's what ECU has left to pick. Jungle and top, jungle and top. What's happened? They banned the Gragas. The displacement from that Gragas damage and how tanky that champion gets. It's a smart ban. ECU bans away this Renekton. Which they have Coda in the top lane, which he's a more predominant fighter champion. We'll see how they translate on that into the mid game. Silas wants to split push a side wave. MIU banning Sejuani away from Jesse as he does play that champion. ECU getting rid of the Trundle, which I don't want to fight that in top line either. It's super annoying. Once he gets Tiamat, he can just split push and never fight you and just proxy until he's back in the game. MIU locking in that Kane, which will look to hard carry this game with the damage. But getting to that point where Azir's online, Kane's online, extremely difficult as this Severe looks to scale as well. MIU just throwing away all of their early game potential in this draft and just purely going for scaling for that mid game to hit that 25-minute mark and to possibly win the game. ECU locking in Alawi for Coda in that top lane is a very strong, comfortable pick for this young man who will look to push and cause pressure and chaos elsewhere on the map so that his team can do what it needs to do. And honestly, paired with that Ashe, with the vision and the ultimate, that global ultimate out of Ashe, it's a great pick. If Scorp Commander can land his ultimates, and then ECU picks up this Zac. Very strong tank front line for ECU so that Ashe can remain safe in the backline land ultimates. Everybody jumps on him. Great team comp draft from ECU. MIU picking up this Mordekaiser for the top lane as their last pick. Mordekaiser versus Alawi. I'm not exactly sure how this matchup goes. We will see. I'm confident in the side of this draft of ECU. When I look at MIU's draft, a lot of things have to happen and they have to farm a whole lot for their team actually comes online. Which when it comes to Mordekaiser ult, he should never be able to reach the Ashe. So he'll have to pick a frontliner to ultimate. And then that takes him out of the play. So then you just have Alistar combo. I like the draft of ECU. Yeah, Azir did get a little nerf, and it's an extremely hard champion to play. So I like the odds of ECU, but it should be a good game. Zach Bomb indeed. I like the lineup as well. I do. I can't picture, honestly, truthfully, picturing MIU's team comp work to me is pretty hard. It's going to be hard to pull off the execution when ECU's team is comp. It's just easy to execute. And you just have Alawi and Zach pressuring with Silas pressuring, right? I don't know. It's a lot of CC. It's a lot of, and like Silas being that first blind pick, he can just grab Severe's ultimate and speed up his team, or he can grab Azir's ultimate and try to knock back the carries. He could grab Mordekaiser's ultimate, right? It's pretty nasty team comp. But I've come to find out that just knowing when and what that champion can do is much more important than just actually picking a strong champion, right? You know, this draft from MIU does have a lot of mobility in the Kane, Azir, Sivir, a lot of dashes, a lot of mobility, right? But Silas with the dash, not much mobility on the Ashe. However, all the tanks, Zach has a lot of mobility. I don't know, it should be a good game. Right, Kamara, I agree. But that's why we play the game, right? 'Cause I mean, for MIU, it's like if Mordekaiser or Kane, like if they get fed or get ahead, it can be nasty, right?
We'll make a game.
And we're off. ECU traveling as a 5-man together team on the spot side again. Looking to bush camp. If anybody walks in this lane from MIU, could spell disaster, giving an early lead to ECU here. Alistar in this tri-bush will see Braum. ECU pushes forward. No deep wards from MIU this game. Not having an early game team comp. Purely selecting to scale and farm. Where the scaling side of ECU is this late game Silas, late game Zach being tanky, and this Ashe. Scales about as well as Sivir does into the late game. Little cheeky bush camp on the side of ECU, looking to get some poke onto this Sivir and zone them away from this wave. Sivir at 200 health. Ashe just chewing it up, taking E first for that attack speed. Completely dominating that bot lane and pushing them out of the wave. Zoning from this experience. Kane starts top side, so at the 3-minute mark, in about a minute, he'll be looking to come down to this bot lane. Try to relieve some of the pressure that ECU is applying. I love to see that. Mordecai's taking priority against the Salawi early a little bit, but once Salawi comes online, surely that will not happen anymore. Great poke from this Ashe. Severe with 2 CS. Not where you want to look in the second wave.
Soldiers, onward!
Oh yeah. What is that music? Solid trades from Alawi this time. Gets the ignite off. Flashes out of the Mordecai damage to come back in. Mordecai's her shield. AoE ticking. When that falls, Alawi will look to get the kill. Oh, Mordekaiser just picks up the kill onto Alawi. You hate to see it. But Zach looking to respawn, pick up the kill and get some revenge gold. Exciting plays in the top lane as Kane looks to invade the bot side of the jungle. Will get the, not get the Raptors, but will look to make a gank onto the Silas. Silas flashes away, takes damage, but will live. In this bot lane, it's Sivir's time with Alistar to push. Ashe with 200 health, flash from the ultimate. Flash from Alistar, barrier onto Ashe, ignite from Alistar. Ashe will live. Braum will still push them down though. If any jungler comes in this bot sign, it will be a double kill. No mana onto Severe. That's why Ashe feels confident staying here, because if he pushes up, Braum can land a Q into an Ashe W, and that could spell death. In the top lane, they're both fresh and back at it. Alawi with the tentacle set up for defense. Kane roaming, but can't do much. Kane can only pick up a kill at this point. Can't really engage. Alistar engages on the Braum. Braum with the Braum shield. His W. Ashe could pick up the kill here. Will back away. Braum flash. Ashe picks up the kill onto Sivir. Great execution. And team play from ECU in the bottom to pick up that kill onto Sivir. Great baiting. Yeah, the spooky music. I'll turn the spooky music off. It kind of set up the suspense of the match, though. I was enjoying it. Alawi winning this trades before they get level 6 and Mordekaiser gets that ultimate. The flash from Mordekaiser will pick up a second kill onto Alawi. Kane starting this dragon as the bot lane of ECU backs up and they just kick the kill up in top lane. MIU will secure this first dragon. Zach is just farming his topside jungle. The first dragon is never the most important, but the timing worked out for MIU again as they picked up the first dragon in all three of these games. It's a major focus, which is a good point of play from MIU. But translating that into a victory is Mordekaiser looks a proxy, but Zach on this topside jungle. Silas picking up the kill using Azir's ultimate on him. Alawi chasing down this Mordekaiser as he pokes Zach out. He used his ultimate on Zach, did not get the kill. Alawi walking at the Mordekaiser. Surely he'll pick up this kill soon. And as he secures it right there, Kane got the dragon. Kind of reassessing what happened. Mordekaiser just died. Surely Alawi looked to push that wave out. He won't freeze it. He'll look to crash it. As you can see him pushing right now, even onto that wave. Mordekaiser, no teleport, will fall behind in levels to this Alawi, even though Alawi has 2 deaths. He tried to push his lead and pushed a little too hard and fell in this bot lane as Ashe Braum, a terrible duo, even if you have severe Alistar, which is a great combo as well with sustain and just being able to farm under your tower. The consistent poke from Ashe, though, is pretty nasty. Alawi pushes under the tower, dueling this Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser's shield comes out in the W, doing most of the damage. Past the Ignite, Alawi looking to fall for the 3rd time in the solo bolo versus Mordekaiser, but Alawi will get their farm to try to remain prevalent as they do have slightly less farm. But Mordekaiser 2 deaths as well. Kane slightly out farming this Zach, the Zach making an impact on the map, which you expect to see. Silas completely out farming this Azir, which is pretty wild considering it's melee versus ranged. Ashe 1 kill ahead of the Severe, but tied up in CS, but Ashe with a slight item advantage. Item advantage is on the Braum with more sustain, more tankiness than the Alistar. Well, maybe not more sustain, but with what they brought in items, they do have. Silas engages back onto the Azir. The Azir uses his ult and his combo. Silas falls to half, will walk away, will not engage under the tower. Back to the spot lane. Ashe catches the E, try to catch the vision of the jungler, but Hydra's just backing on that Silas. Or the Kane, excuse me. No teleports on the map. Everyone's teleports down. All summoners down besides on the spot lane for the side of MIU. MIU looking to hold off in this 3rd match. The kill's 4-3, but ECU with a 2K gold lead. Even though MIU picked up the first dragon, they're farming way more efficiently, and that gold lead is mainly on the side of this Silas. As the fight breaks out, Kane ultimate, Zach responds with his ultimate, picks up the Kane at the fight at Void Grubs. Mordekaiser thinking about going in 1v3, gets a 2-man pull, gets pulled by Zach. Silas doesn't care, goes in, knows he has the advantage, steals the Kane ultimate, uses it. Mordekaiser uses his shield. Silas going to duke it out. Alawi just biding his time, trying to give the kill to the Silas, but he falls. Alawi finally goes in, picks up the kill on Mordekaiser. Alawi doesn't have much magic damage other than his Mercury treads. It's a good fight from the side of ECU, picking up those Void Grubs, only losing 1. Eternal Frost doing damage though, but that Mordekaiser with a completed Leandry's item with 4 kills is pretty strong in this game right now. Alawi looking to 1v1 this Kane. As Kane's just chewing him up. Alawi doing his damage. No ultimate. Gets Kane to half and falls. But let's think about Alawi. They just they have continuous pressure in that lane, which always demands 1 to 2 people to stop them. Atacon in 10 minutes. We're at the 10-minute mark. Second dragon spawns in a minute. ECU with a slight 2K gold lead. Most of the deaths on this top lane, which the impact of top lane. They're still... Alawi has to push to get that farm. Being locked under your tower into the Mordekaiser is not the ideal positioning for the Alawi, right? It's not what they enjoy the most, I'm sure. Ashe trying to get enough gold for that Kraken Slayer. Surely once Ashe completes the Kraken Slayer, they'll look to move more towards these dragons, more towards these objectives into this mid lane. Braum waiting in the bush. Lands its stone onto Alistar. Fight the top lane. It's been really active between them. They're fighting constantly. A gank from Zac onto this Alistar. Once Ashe connects, you're pretty much just slowed. As he tries to walk away, Ashe taking damage. Kane's here to respawn. Zac ultimate to refuse him. But Azir's here as well. Lands the ultimate. Picks up a double kill. If they can get the kill onto this Ashe. Silas just going to push and farm mid-wave. As Alawi getting the better of Mordekaiser in this trade. Walking him down. Mordekaiser has his full kit. Alawi has his ultimate this time. Ignite for Ignite. I don't know why it went away, but Alawi falls again. Be the 5th death onto Alawi. No one picks up the dragon. Surely that's the next fight. Ashe walking back the lane because they died without a Kraken Slayer again. Thanks to that gank from Azir on the bot lane. Silas clearing out this vision and preps for the dragon. As Braum walks into the river extremely low, surely he can clear a ward and then back. You can't clear vision at the state you're in, Andy. You have to back.
Bury them. The order is given.
Azir saying wait for R. Severe saying wait for R. They want to wait a minute before they do this dragon, but ECU not wanting to wait, wanting to push the objective here as the fight breaks out over this Scuttle Crab and they catch Kane out. ECU picking up the kill, giving it to Ashe on the Scorp Commander. Giving to the Ashe. Alawi and Mordekaiser are fighting constantly in this game. It's non-stop. But ECU will pick up the dragon here, as MIU is not in position to contest. Zac picks up the dragon from the side of ECU. This Mordekaiser for MIU is making a statement in this game with 6 kills. Silas, though, coming to put us in to Mordekaiser's reign, hopefully. Pick up some gold in this side lane. As Alawi walks mid to look to group for his team. Mordekaiser with no ignite, no flash. Silas with no summoners. Just falls to the Mordekaiser damage with this Leandries. That 400 health making him tanky and giving him enough damage to duel just almost anyone. Something's happening in the blue side jungle. MIU being aggressive and pushing, looking to invade again. Alistar getting a deep ward. Engaging onto the Zac, but Alawi's here as well. Zac to half health. The damage from Kane starting to come online. Ults Zac. Picks up the kill. Responding to Silas, Alawi, Braum pushing forward. Alawi going to pick up this kill on Alistar. There's just no way he doesn't. As Kane will fall as well. Alawi picks up a double kill. Kane trying to get away, but will fall to Silas. Severe in the mid lane. Ashe in the bot lane, defending against Azir. We didn't see how MIU's team comp could work. However, they're making it happen with the dominance from their solo lane. Kane completing his first volcanic sword item with that lethality, looking to kill the squishies. However, he went red Kane, which is going to allow him to do more damage the more health the enemy has. But he will be able to be kited, which Ashe, Braum, and Zac is for kiting. So in the 5v5, I like it, the fight from ECU. But in these skirmishes, as ECU is waiting for this Azir to step out of position, picking up the kill. That was a pretty nasty setup. The Rift Herald just spawns. MIU on it immediately. I'll give it to this MIU team. They're very focused on objectives. Zach comes in to gank this. Severe, surely they pick up the kill. With Alawi and Zach on you, Severe falls with no help. MIU picks up the Rift Herald, but ECU is going to pick up another tower in this bot lane. As MIU's focused on the top side of this map, as Mordekaiser's pushing, Silas knows it's 1v3. Zach is Jesse on Zach is in a very aggressive position. Counter jungling as MIU pushes into his jungle. He knows he's got to get some farm somewhere. ECU not in a position to defend. Oh, there they are. Kane in the jungle. Nothing's up on this side of the map anymore. MIU encroaching on this tier 1 mid tower of ECU. Zach being left alone to defend. As Alawi shows up, Zach will survive because of his pass. Assault lands on the Alistar as they look to engage. Braum ultimate onto Azir. Ashe connecting on the Azir. That's not what you want from MIU. Great positioning from ECU as it's a front to back fight, and they're going to kill them all. They will ace his team. Or they will not get the ace, but Mordekaiser falls. Kane runs away with his tail between his legs into his own jungle. Severe is split pushing. Severe is picked for team fight. She's not much of a split pusher. ECU's turn to fight. They catch MIU out of position. Now it's a 1v1. Silas versus Kane. Level 12 Silas, level 10 Kane. Red Kane does health damage, but Silas is farmed with 5 stacks on his Rod of Ages. Ashe has the Kraken Slayer in that last fight. You got the ER on Sivir. It's a 5k gold lead to the side of ECU, 16 kills to 11. The fights, these games between these two teams, it looks close in the laning phase every single match. And then once that mid-game hits for this game and this last game, which is, I guess that's a trend for ECU, so to speak, is the way that their team comes together. They're able to rotate, move around this map, and play together as a team and team fight is what allows them to be so dominant and so successful in this game of League of Legends. Dragon spawning in 15 seconds. MIU setting up for the objective. They never fail. They're on these objectives. ECU going to counterattack, pushing in with the Braum into the Mordekaiser. Ashe doing damage. It's a 3v4. Where are the teammates of ECU? Kane collapses on the Zach. Zach dies, but Silas is finally here. Goes in! Silas, 1v4, goes in, doesn't care. It's 0 ult, but Silas fall. Braum will fall to the flash from Sivir. I don't know if that flash was worth. Alawi on this bot lane was not in a position to help in that team fight, unfortunately. As MIU will pick up the second dragon. And mid T1. MIU clawing their way back into this game, looking to tie the gold lead up. Cut the gold lead to 2k gold with this dragon. It will get even closer as they look to collapse on this Alawi, but the Alawi walks out. MIU gets the dragon, gets away with their lives. There's not much more you can ask for when it comes to picking up a free dragon. With just a 2k gold lead now, the kill's 16 to 14. MIU's trying what they can to claw back. Pinging that top side of the map, as we know that's where Atacon will spawn, because that's where the most deaths were. Alawi, though, finally online with their first item in that Frostborn Gauntlet, 7, 6, and 2. Went from 2 and 4 to 7, 6, and 2 to a positive position. Dakota performing well in this Alawi, even though the Mordekaiser was strong early. Ashe ult onto the Sivir. It connects. The Sivir will fall. There's no living that as an ADC. That CC is nasty. Azir jumps in to defend this T2. In the mid lane, Silas roaming around the jungle, looking to catch anybody out on the flank. Alawi in this bot lane, just kind of pushing. Looks like they will look to collapse mid on this next wave. As Atacon just spawned at the 20-minute mark. Zach's jumping into mid. Or just waiting for a fight to happen so he can jump on them and get something happening.
Summoner has disconnected.
Hydrus disconnects. They will pause. ECU with a 3K gold lead as they're mounting their lead even more as they farm the objectives on the map. As we're paused, let's look at the CS scores. Alawi just down 1.5 waves. Kills are even, but has so much gold. They've killed the right opponents at the right time coming together in this mid lane. The junglers, yet again, Zach just down a little bit, but eventually tied, has more impact in the game with more kill participation. Looking at this mid laners, Silas with a 20 CS lead, 3 waves, 2 kills, with a definite item advantage. Looking at the Ashe versus Severe opted to split push when Ashe team fights, picking up more kills when the CS is virtually even. Then we take a look at the supports here. Alistar with only their support item completed with the Brambles vest and the armor boots, looking to counteract the AD attack damage of Ashe and only Alawi. You need some more magic damage, my friend. Braum with his locket. I think that's Locket of Solari, the Iron Solari. Yep. Giving shields to their team during fights as well as their support item. He's going to restart his PC. This is an exciting match. I will be back.
A summoner has reconnected.
Back. We'll be starting shortly. So I just walked by and they're already playing again, but thanks to the delay, we got a little bit more time to wait.
summoner has reconnected.
Oh, I've been muted. I apologize. I've been talking this whole time. That's unfortunate. As the gold lead has tipped to the side of MIU, they played that last team fight very well and got the third dragon. This next team fight, this next objective of Baron, may be the win condition, may be the deciding factor in who wins this game. As Mordekaiser just picks up his Rylai's Scepter. Severe picks up an Infinity Edge. 3 items on this Severe. 2.5 items on this Ashe. Once Ashe completes their Infinity Edge, it will be just as deadly. Farm is pretty much even at this point. The slight leads Ashe just tearing things up at this moment. Allow his TP up in 1 minute. Azir's TP up in 1.5 minutes. Gold lead tied. ECU just slightly ahead, 20 kills to 18. MIU able to pick up 3 dragons. ECU just won. The next fight will be in mid to see who decide who can pick up this Baron. They got a bead on this Sylas as Alistar flashes. Sylas flashes. They casted the Ignite. Sylas has Alistar's ultimate. A failed engage from MIU as Sylas saves his flash. Alawi getting that split push pressure, has their teleport. Team fight in the mid lane. Braum ultimate comes out. Azir ultimate. Braum flashes out. Zac goes in. Alawi looking to connect. It's just a jumbled mess. Ashe chewing them up though. A great team fight from the side of ECU as 3 members have fallen. Mordekaiser standing strong. Sylas going in. Picks up the kills. A quadra-kill on Ashe. Pentakill or is it quadra-kill? It's a pentakill to Scorp Commander on this Ashe in the mid lane as they charge towards this Baron. Let's watch that again and slow play it. That was a long team fight. A lot was happening. I don't want to miss it. Zac goes in. Connects onto Severe. Severe ults. Uses her spell shield. It subsides. Sylas looking to go in. Braum goes in. Ashe just attacking what she can the whole entire fight. Braum ult. Mordekaiser goes in on the Braum. Sylas goes in. Zac's just there. Ashe just picking them apart behind her team of tanks. This front line. Zac re-engages. Braum flashes out. Alawi's here. Shows up in the fight finally. Alawi's big, strong. Goes in instantly. They kill the King. Looks like Alawi's connecting with this Alistar. Ashe takes him out. Zac getting out barely with her life. Looking at the Severe. Picks up the kill for the triple. They don't stop. That's a lot of damage from the Mordekaiser, but you need some help. Ignite on the Sylas. Ashe just chewing him up, doing the most damage right now. As that Kraken Slayer connects every 3rd auto, just doing extra damage. Put it back in 1-time speed. Exactly, Kamara, exactly. ECU claiming their consolation of this Baron after that great ace pentakill on this Ashe from Scorp Commander. You love to see it. That front-to-back team fight is impressive and absolutely fun to watch. Let's just watch this Ashe for now. As they're the main damage dealers along with this Silas, but in the team fights, Ashe is able to get off more damage just for the simple fact that he's got 4 melees in front of him. This 4th dragon important. ECU does not want to give that 4th Drake to MIU, which would allow them to fall back into the game. They have Baron. They're looking to team fight. Right now, it's happening. Let's back it up and slow it down again. That's the start of this fight. Ashe just being in range of that Mordekaiser is scary. Braum engages on the Mordekaiser. Alawi gripping. Alawi flashes in, but Azir flashes on the Ashe. Ults Ashe. Alawi doing damage. They pick up the kill on the Ashe with Alistar, Azir, Mordekaiser collapsing. They kill the Mordekaiser in response. Kayn getting their ultimate off before they die. Severe cleaning up this team fight right now. Extremely low is the Alawi. No consistent damage from ECU as Ashe was able to be taken out early. Zac and Braum can't do much. They're going to pick up this kill on Alistar, hopefully, or Kayn. Severe just with that consistent damage. That's why ADCs are so important in this game. Oh, they're so low. Flash from the Severe just to use. They pick up the passive off of Zac and get the kill. Picking up that tower. Leaving Severe to get this tower by herself. MIU focusing on this dragon to get their 4th dragon soul point and tie up the gold lead. ECU with a slight gold lead. It's basically even. They're up 27 to 24 kills. Basically, the key to MIU is this Azir ulting, getting an ultimate on the backline with the Ashe out of position was the key to that. That's the key to victory for MIU, is getting this Ashe. And the key for ECU is just keeping them off this Ashe. Silas and Mordekaiser with the team of ECU collapsing on this Mordekaiser. Mordekaiser's damage is absolutely nasty. Almost killing the Silas in return. Scorp's Commander connecting, picking up the kill on the Mordekaiser. ECU pinging the inhibitor tower, the base towers of MIU, signaling they want to push. They want to siege. As Kayn backs to help. Alistar is late to the push as well. Once Ashe connects to this tower with the Q, this tower will fall. Kayn ults Braum to get some damage off. Goes in on Ashe. Ashe flashes. Silas uses Azir's ultimate. When Ashe is just low, they're just going to fight it out. Dies. When you're just this pushed up. But that Dragon Soul, at this point, for the side of MIU, is what helped them win that fight, just having more stats. It's tough. ECU has to get a good pick with an Ashe ult and connect to win this game. MIU approaching the base of ECU, looking to end the game. With just Zac and Braum alive, it's hard to clear waves, especially into 5 people pushing. Dragon sold up team. First Nexus turret falls. Ashe is up. Second turret will fall. Can ECU keep Ashe alive? Kane pushing towards the Ashe. Ashe cleaning up. Mordekaiser. Kane falls. Azir falls. Ultimately, Ashe able to defend their base right here. An immediate teleport from Malawi into that bot lane. Followed up as well with the Silas so they can get some push off and get some counter pressure. Enemy team spawns in 15 to 30 seconds across the board. Looking to end the game right here is ECU as they forego the mid, look to push. Alistar, the only one alive right now. It's a counter push from the side of ECU. Get the 2 kills. Mordekaiser standing in the way. Mordekaiser falls. ECU gang piling this tower. One after one as MIU runs into their death. But that tower helping. Kane falls. Azir falls. Kane alive. No. Kane ultimate. The amount of healing that Kane has in his kit as Red Kane, absolutely nasty. Oh, wow. An exciting ending to the game. ECU almost ends it right there. Not quite enough. That Kane being strong and fed at this 35-minute mark.
Such a useful talent.
Just running it down straight at the Nexus. No minions needed. A half-health Nexus. No one on the side of ECU up to defend it. GG MIU, GG ECU. It was a close match. ECU suffers their first defeat of the season. MIU picks up their first win. It was a good game. It was a good series. Looking at the damage breakdown, pretty even across the board. However, that Mordekaiser just absolutely doing the most damage. Even though Coda on that Alawi has more gold, Mordekaiser doing more damage, just having more AoE damage and things like that. The Kane and Zac ultimately tied in damage. However, Zac's a tank. Kane's a bruiser assassin. Even though Azir died a whole lot, they had a lot of assists. They were there when they needed. They did good damage. Silas doing just a bit more damage. Looking at the ADCs, eventually tied. Ashe just carrying their brains out, but just not quite enough. It was a good game. Good match. ECU falls on this Thursday night, their first loss of the season. It was a great game. It's unfortunate. It was a nail biter at the end. There was no telling who was going to win that. Pioneer Esports MIU just barely coming away with the victory. Yes, that's game. Thanks for coming and watching, everybody. I appreciate your viewership. I'm sure the players as well appreciate you guys watching and having fun. Why do I replay the fight in the middle, Dripple? Well, sometimes I just want to make sure I can kind of catch it on slower. You're probably right. I probably should just play the whole thing out in regular speed and then back up and slow it down. But I've got quite a bit of delay between me and you, like 5 minutes, so I'm able to play with a little bit. I'm new to this job, so kind of refining things and fine-tuning as I get to watch these guys play this game. It's pretty fun. I appreciate you guys coming. I believe I'm going to end stream now. I believe that's what we do. They probably don't want to have an after stream interview or anything like that. Again, thanks for coming. But hold on, I will before we get out of here. Thank you. It looks like that's going to be the end of the stream for Thursday night. Thanks for showing up. Varsity ECU barely losing to Pioneer Esports. It was a great game. Junior Varsity, however, for the side of ECU, picked up a victory, their second victory in a row. Today they beat Texas Tech University. Those 2 matches. Again, thanks for showing up. My name's Dustin, the commentator for League of Legends at Esports ECU. Have a good night.